Have you spent hours on your resume? What if I told you there was a better way? Like job match, tailored resumes in 2 to 3 minutes. Look, I've helped thousands of people land jobs using this exact system. And once you've seen this process, you'll never go back to doing it your old way again. Here's what a lot of career coaches and resume writers don't tell you. The secret isn't writing better resumes from scratch each time. It's building one master resume so good that customization becomes automatic. This is what I call the master resume method. Instead of managing 10 different documents, you manage your career data once and create infinite views. What you see here is all of your career data. We've got a printed view of what it can look like, and we can use that to click and navigate over to the sections. So we've got our target titles. These are like headlines for your resumes. You've got different versions of your professional summaries, and you've got your work experience. And you can see what this allows us to do is turn things on and off and create bullets per resume. Think of it as a database that we're making views of. So you can have all this content here, and you don't need to be doing save as and deleting and all these different versions of documents. Think like resume, final version 1, version 2, final version 3. You don't need to do that. And especially if you're tailoring per job you're applying to, this makes it super easy. So having this master resume goes a long way. Think of it as all your career data, all your career facts, everything you've ever done, because then you can selectively pick and choose the things that you want to show to each company. So you want to go ahead and fill this out with everything you've ever done. Now, that foundation is powerful, but here's what most people get wrong. They build a master resume with weak bullets that don't connect to what the job actually wants. The solution? You reverse engineer from job descriptions. Let me show you how we do this. You can use your favorite job board. In this case, I'm using Teal because it's fully integrated and it'll hook right into the resume builder. But I'm going to go ahead and apply some advanced filters. I'm going to add keywords as a product manager for things that I've done, like Jira. That's immediately going to give me jobs that I should be able to mine for content. Let's go ahead and just grab a few. So here we'll take this product manager reliability, and I can see that it's got responsibilities of things that I've done in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and bookmark that job and add it into my tracker. Now I'll look for some others. This senior product manager, I'll go ahead and bookmark and add that to my tracker. And what you want to do is look at these job descriptions. If they've got things you've done before in the responsibilities section, these are going to be great ways to tease out information for us to kind of remember the things we did in our jobs. So now let's head back over to our resume build, and we'll come over to our resume. And when we go to Job Matcher, we can pick one of the jobs that we just put into our job tracker. That's going to show us the keywords that this job is looking for. And we can come over and tell it to show us the job description as well. So now we can start to build up content based off these. And if I go straight over to the job responsibilities, I can see develop product vision and roadmap. I've done things like that. Overseeing planning and execution. Those are going to be things that are going to come up over and over again. It's important to note that I'm not applying to this job. I'm using the job description to help me see what the market is looking for. So let's jump right in and add some content. So at this position at Spotify, I'll go ahead and add a bullet. And I'm going to write it with AI. And in this case, I'm going to use the job description as the source of information to create bullets. This way I can respond directly to them. So overseeing planning and execution of product teams. Let's go ahead and add that. Let's continue. And now it's going to generate bullets for me that respond to that. You can choose one with metrics, with metric placeholders, or one that doesn't use metrics at all, that uses qualitative language. Not every bullet in your resume has to have metrics, so it's entirely up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and use that bullet, and I'll save it. You can see my score went up a little bit. Now, I'm not applying to this particular job. What I want to make sure is that I'm getting the key points that are in senior product manager job description. Now, this would apply to any job you're applying to. You may not be a senior product manager, but the same process applies. So let's go through and add some others. This time, I'll use keywords. Now, what I would probably do is find 5 to 10 jobs represent what I've done before. Maybe even find ones at your past employers, because they might have jobs online and you can use that job description. Or if you have your old job description, you can paste that in as well. If you want to focus on keywords, you can come over to the settings here and change this to keywords and summary. So now I can see the job description side by side with the keywords that are in the job. And right from the keywords, I can initiate more bullets. So workflow documents, let's go ahead and create a bullet for that. Say I did that when I was an associate product manager. So you can do it by focusing on keywords, or you can do it by focusing on the job description. You can also have the AI coach you. Your goal here is to get to 10 to 15 bullets per position you've had. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add 10 to 15 bullets for each position so we can use them later. Once you feel like you've covered everything in that particular job, just go ahead and switch it to another one. We'll come over here to the settings and we'll do switch job and pick another one from our tracker. And I'll use this to create more bullets. And you can keep repeating this process until you feel like you've got good coverage of everything you've done in your career. All right, let me go ahead and add in 10 to 15 bullets. I'm not gonna make you guys sit through that, and we'll jump forward here. Now you're pulling the right content, but there's still a problem. Raw bullets from job descriptions often sound generic and don't showcase your impact. Let's take some of the existing bullets from your resume and improve those. So we can hover over that and improve with AI. And it's gonna take your existing content and the things you've done before and pull in information from the job descriptions and write those to be a little more impactful and compelling. And you can do that right within Teal, or you can use ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. See, here's the difference between a bullet that gets ignored and one that gets you interviews. It's not what you did, it's how you frame what you did. And you wanna leverage resume writing best practices and the way to structure your bullets. That's built right into the Teal AI, so it's gonna give them to you with action verbs and metrics and ways for you to communicate your impact. Okay, now your bullets are compelling, but they're useless if a recruiter searches within the ATS and can't find you. The skills section is like SEO for your resume. That's search engine optimization. When they're searching for particular words, you wanna make sure you're found. And most people completely mess this up. This is also where job descriptions come in handy. And what I would look for is things like softwares, technologies that might be a little uncomfortable or cumbersome to get into a bullet. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and add those right into our skills section. We can hover over them and we can see things like business plans. I'll just add that. Frameworks, special projects. These are all things that can easily go into a skills section. And when someone's searching for those particular terms, they'll find them. Now, we can also go ahead and add those in ourselves. So things like softwares that you've used, let's go ahead and add those as skills. So things like Jira or Linear, which is the latest product management software. Maybe I used Miro. I'll put in KPIs, OKRs. I'll go ahead and save those. Now, all those keywords are right there in your skills section. Other things you might want to consider are like tasks. As a product manager, it might be user interviews, things like that. You could also add in stakeholder management. You can use the keywords from job descriptions as a way to add in skills into your skills section. All right, now your master resume is loaded with options. But here's the moment of truth. All this is worthless if you can't quickly customize it for a specific opportunity. The final step is what separates people who get callbacks from those who don't. And I call it the match and extract method. And it turns the 4-hour nightmare into a 3-minute process. Let me show you how it works. We're gonna head over to our resume builder home and we're gonna start from a job description. And what we're gonna wanna do is come over to our settings and auto select content to matched job. And we will pull from one of the jobs either in our job tracker or from a job board, or we'll do a new search. In this case, we'll pick that job. And now it's gonna go through our master resume and select all the relevant content. It's gonna reorder it and make it the best possible resume for that job. So what you can see here is that we're already out of the gate a 65% match. And the AI has tried to consolidate it into a resume that's not too long. But we're only at a 1.5 pages, which is totally fine. So what we'll do is we'll come back over to the job matcher and we can look for all of the keywords that are present, just not turned on. So anything that's yellow, we can click and go to it and we can quickly turn it on. You can decide if you want these on or off in your resume, but the content is already in your master resume. So you don't have to create a whole bunch of new content. You just got to click through and turn it on. The AI is going to take a first pass at trying to make it concise. But if you want to make it a little longer, you can completely do that. And just like that, we didn't have to write any content and we've got a perfectly tailored resume to that job. And there you have it, the complete master resume system that makes tailored resumes effortless. Here's what you want to do right now. Pick one job description from your target role and add 5 bullets to one of the positions in your master resume. Then update your skills section with 5 relevant skills. This shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes. Do this today and you'll already be ahead of 90% of job seekers. If you found this helpful, hit the like and subscribe for more job search strategies that actually work. And if you want access to the complete system I just showed you, I put a link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.